They've repeated the same claims for years. That Islam is violent. That the Quran borrowed from earlier scriptures. That the Prophet, peace be upon him, forced belief. That his marriage to Aisha, radiallahu anha, was questionable. That women are oppressed. And that Allah is unfair. But when you step away from the noise, when you stop listening to recycled arguments, and start looking at evidence, the entire picture changes. Because sometimes, what people call facts are just echoes of someone else's misunderstandings. Today, we are not arguing. We are uncovering, layer by layer, claim by claim, until the truth stands clear. 1. The Prophet's marriages. What headlines don't tell you. The story is always told in fragments. Never the full context. Never the historical reality. Every marriage of the Prophet, peace be upon him, had purpose. A protecting widows. A freeing enslaved women. A reconciling tribes. A offering security after war. A spreading knowledge. A strengthening community ties. For 25 years, he stayed with only one wife, Khadija, radiallahu anha. Older than him, his supporter and companion. Not desire. Not impulse. Wisdom. 2. The marriage of Aisha, radiallahu anha, a case built on misreading history. People take modern standards, apply them to a completely different world, and then pass judgment. But 7th century Arabia, like Christian, Jewish, Roman, Persian, and even early European societies, saw younger marriages as normal and respectable. Classical Muslim scholars point to evidence that she was in her mid-teens, based on her participation in battles, her intellectual maturity, her sister's known age, her Arab customs of adulthood, cross-checked historical records. But even if someone debates the number, her own society saw her as a grown, capable young woman. Why the marriage? To strengthen ties with Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu, to prepare her as a scholar, to preserve intimate details of the Prophet's life for future generations. Aisha, radiallahu anha, became a narrator of over 2,200 hadiths, her advisor to companions, one of Islam's greatest jurists. You cannot erase that with a modern headline. She said, "I never felt more honored than being chosen as the Prophet's wife." A harmed person does not dedicate 47 years after his passing to teaching, guiding, and shaping Islamic knowledge. 3. Islam was spread by the sword, a claim without geography. If Islam spread by force, explain this. Indonesia, Malaysia, East Africa, Maldives, and large parts of India all became Muslim with 0 Muslim armies entering. What spread Islam? A integrity of Muslim traders, a justice, a compassion, a fairness. Let there be no compulsion in religion, for the truth stands out clearly from falsehood. So whoever renounces false gods and believes in Allah has certainly grasped the firmest, unfailing handhold. And Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Quran 2:256. 4. The Quran copied the Bible, a claim that ignores the evidence. If copying explains it, then why is its structure unlike anything in Arabic literature? Why does it contain knowledge discovered centuries later? Why has it remained unchanged for 400+ years? Why does it correct earlier scriptures instead of repeating them? Islam affirms previous revelation. It doesn't imitate. It completes. 5. The Prophet fought to spread Islam, another myth. For 13 years in Mecca, Muslims were beaten, tortured, starved, yet never lifted a sword. Every battle in Medina was for a survival, a preventing genocide, a securing freedom of worship. The wars were defensive, not expansionist. Misconceptions about the Quran. It copied previous books. Similarities exist because the source is the same, Allah. But the Quran is unique in a linguistic perfection, a preservation, a scientific clarity, a fulfilled prophecies, or unmatched coherence. Even non-Muslim historians admit this. The Quran says earth is flat. It doesn't. Arabic terms like dahaha, farasha, sudihat mean a spread out, a leveled, a made stable, not flat. Muslim scholars discussed a spherical earth long before Europe. Jinn are superstition. Every major religion believes in unseen beings. Jinn are simply another creation with intelligence and free will. Misconceptions about Sharia. Why cut a thief's hand? A punishment reserved for severe, proven cases. Almost impossible to apply today. Its purpose? Deterrence, not brutality. Why capital punishment? All ancient societies used it. Islam restricted it strictly and tied it to justice. Why polygamy? It is permitted, not encouraged. Designed for widows, orphans, a social stability, not impulse. Why half testimony? Only in specific financial cases. Never general life. It was to ensure accuracy, not inequality. Misconceptions about women. Hijab is dignity, not oppression. Islam granted women rights, property, inheritance, education, divorce. Long before Europe. Inheritance differs because men carry financial responsibility, not because women are inferior. Value does not come from identical roles. Misconceptions about jihad. Jihad equals struggle, not crusade. The Prophet, peace be upon him, forbade killing civilians, harming women or children, burning homes, torture, destroying nature. No civilization at that time had rules this ethical. Misconceptions about Muslims. Only 15% of Muslims are Arabs. Muslims honor Jesus, peace be upon him. Islam commands fairness toward every human. Education is required for men and women. Misconceptions about Allah. Why suffering? Growth needs tests. Why test if Allah knows? Because knowing is different from showing. Why not make everyone believers? Because free will is the foundation of responsibility. Why is shirk the worst? It gives creation the status of the creator. Why worship? Allah needs nothing. We need worship for our hearts. Misconceptions about science. Islam inspired the golden age that produced algebra, hospitals, optics, astronomy, surgical tools. The Quran encouraged exploration, not suppression. Misconceptions about modernity. Islam doesn't oppose freedom. It opposes chaos. It's not outdated. Its guidance is timeless. Misconceptions about morality. Islam forbids alcohol, pork, adultery, and immorality. Not to restrict life, but to protect it. The reality. Most misconceptions come from people who never read the Quran, and never studied history, and never sought sincere understanding. But when you investigate objectively, you find a faith rooted in mercy, justice, wisdom, and truth. Islam is not what critics describe. Islam is what Allah revealed, and what the Prophet, peace be upon him, lived.